Empty your mind. Be shapeless like water. About 2 days ago, I allowed my mind to roam free and to think of any response that it can give me. And as a result, I the words that came out of my mouth came naturally. And I was able to become fully present and add a little bit of charisma into myself. And with that moment, it was a big shift because I didn't rehearse my lines. I didn't come up with the lines that I'm going to share with you today. I didn't uh, pre plan this. I didn't force anything. I didn't think so hard as to what I would say. I just allowed my mind to roam free and allowed things to come naturally, and it resulted in a much better communication experience. Before, like especially like 5 years ago, I used to overthink of what I would say, and I thought that I had to come up with the perfect response or to come up with a joke pre-planned. But the things that I said, like the jokes that I said and what I said, it just came out of me just naturally, just like a river, you know. So I want to share with you some examples of what had happened that allowed my mind to roam free and to give me better responses. So a first example, this all happened within the same like story. So to paint you a little picture, it was Wednesday around, I would say around noon, and I was just standing in front of my cash register. Beside me, there was a few of my coworkers beside me, just waiting for people to come up and take their order. It was inside this plaza. People were walking. People were on their lunch break. Some people were in line. Some people were just standing there. It was a pretty busy atmosphere. Like it calmed down a little bit. Like usually around this hour, there'll be like a busy line, but for a moment, it was just calm. And I remember talking to with my coworker. This coworker of mine is new, so I was just getting to know her, and we were talking about she so um so I asked her where she was from, and she just gave her background story. You know, she's from this city, this part of town. She had to move because there was so many like hurricanes, tsunamis that were at her area, and then she became a manager at a daycare, and she just been to so many places. And I remember just looking at her and just I was in the zone. I was paying attention to what she had to say. I didn't think of anything. I didn't pre-plan or pre-plan my response. I just listened to her and just I took in her words. I just took in what she said. And after hearing what she had to say, out of nowhere, like my mind just like it, as if it was like a gift from the heavens. You know, my mind just gave me a response to give, and I said, "Wow, that is a very interesting story. You should make that into a movie." Like I didn't plan that. Say I didn't pre-plan that. It just came naturally, and I just remembered her laughing about it, which was pretty cool. That just came out of me. Another example. Again, this is all happened at the same moment, like probably like a few minutes apart. What else? Oh yeah, she told me that she has won the lottery a few times, and like her highest was being like around like 70,000 dollars, which is like insane. But again, I listened to her and I just took in her words, and then my mind just like zoop, like here's your response to give. You know, it's just a it's like a come first come serve type of moment. So I responded with, well, you clearly rival Jeff Bezos, or no, what did I say? No, I said, well, you clearly rival Warren Buffett when it comes to making money. So, do you have any advice for me? That was also a natural response, and she laughed at that as well. And in between those responses that I gave, I just remembered being so proud of myself that all these just came out of fly. So many great moments when it comes, especially when it comes to like just speaking to somebody, can like all of it just comes on a fly when you're like fully present. It just allows you just to really connect with that person. It just allows you to really respond like just a million times better, rather than just thinking about your responses and just pre-planning your lines. So I'm really glad that I just allowed myself, I allowed my mind to find whatever that I needed to find, and it just gave it to me. So I'm really proud about that. So with all that being said and done, what I realized that what I realized was I wasn't thinking ahead. I I was fully listening and responding to the moment. I didn't think of any clever lines. I didn't write a clever script. I just reacted in the moment, and I just listened to someone's story, and my response gave me whatever that it wanted to give me. So to conclude, the takeaway is trust your mind more. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised what responses it can think of when you allow it to just to roam, and if you allow yourself to listen to the other person and just feel the moment, just allow your mind to flow, and it will find your responses. I know. I mean, of course, you can't just say whatever comes to mind, because you might say out of pocket, or that ayo what like type of like moments. But if you just allow your mind just to roam free, and if you're fully present, then you can become, then you can be like, you can truly connect with that person. It just leads to better connection. But that's all I wanted to say. Hopefully, you've learned just a few things from this talk that I had to share today. But yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, wherever you are, and I'll see you soon.